It is also high time that we accepted new ideas. We injected new thinking, new blood in the system for a transformative society, for us to transform from where we are to other places. Hi everyone. The biggest problems that affect our Kenyan schools, and by extension I want to believe most of the African schools, according to me, are only two. Number one, disobedience of science, and number two, traditionalism. Let us start with disobedience of science, and kindly allow me to say this, that there is not a single school in this East African country called Kenya that obeys science. Not even one. Zero. Nada. There is no teachers' staff meeting that has ever been held in the whole republic, and these words came out, that we are doing this because this is what research shows, that we are giving less or more exams because scientific data shows this or that we are reducing the students' entertainment time because according to a paper published in this journal, this is what it says. None. And you know what they say? In God we trust, everybody else we bring numbers, figures, and verifiable data. These are foreign things in all the Kenyan schools. I can tell you this for free because I'm on the ground. Decisions in all the Kenyan schools are based on only three things. Number one, copy-pasting from other schools. Number two, moods and emotions. And number three, teachers' own experiences. If there is another criteria that is used, be sure it doesn't obey science. Let us start with copy-pasting. Copy-pasting is purely anchored on competition and the fear of missing out. Currently, the most trending thing in the whole country is the separation of boys and girls in mixed day schools, and I remember highlighting it in this video. The schools that separated boys and girls and improved in 2022 KCSE, for instance, have attributed their good performance on the separation. But is that scientific? Of all the factors that contribute towards the performance, you allocate about 100% to separation. Okay, what will you say this year 2023 when the performance goes down? Don't you see that you're setting yourself in a very slippery path? Additionally, I know of a school where someone very close to me teaches, someone who resides in my left ventricle, but I have advised her not to interfere with the flow of blood in there and cause me a heart attack. Now, in that school, they separated boys and girls because of the influence from a neighboring school which had always improved since the separation had happened. But unfortunately, their main score nosedived head first. Sources very close to the source have intimated to me that mean score yao ilikuwa inatafutiliwa huku chini. Who has seen the mathematics mean score? Ilikuwa toka juu ya meza sahi. Ndio ile pale chini ichukue tafadhali. What will such schools say? Consider the morning and the evening classes that the Education Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Mashogu, recently reminded us to stop by reminding us that classes should start at 8 a.m. and end at 3:45. And while you are still at it, don't forget the Saturday classes. These illegal classes continue to take place and are not ending anytime soon, by the way, because of competition and the fear of missing out. You know, if we don't teach our students on Saturdays, the neighboring school, which is doing so, will defeat us. I hear that students in the neighboring school are now going to school at 6:30 a.m., down from 7 a.m. Good morning, school. From Monday, you must come to school at 6 a.m. I hear that our neighboring school, which is highly performing, is now ending their preps at 10:30 p.m. Good morning, students. From tomorrow, our evening preps shall be ending at 10:30 p.m. up from 9:30 p.m. Nothing scientific, purely based on competition and the fear of missing out. And this is the reason why, but quite unfortunately, we see students as young as 5 years old on our roads at 5 a.m. in the morning on their way to school. We see buses hooting in our estates as early as 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, picking students, 10-year-olds, ready to take them to schools that are located 30-40 kilometers away because of competition and the fear of missing out.
What are we doing for our children?
These are the things that have happened over the years under my watchful eyes. Because I remember when I was in Form 1 and Form 2, I was a day scholar at St. Anthony's Kitale Boys. We used to go to school at 7:30 a.m. Tulikuwa tunafika shule hivi, tunaenda parade. But over the years, as a matter of fact, even when I was still there, when I joined boarding school in Form 3, I saw or I noted that the time for arriving in school had now been changed to 7 a.m. And then over the years, we have continued to take the students' time, and now we are at 5, 4, and 3. In the near future, we shall be at 2 and 1 a.m. Number 2 criteria that is used in decision making in our schools is the moods and the emotions of the prefects or the teachers. And this is the reason why the students' entertainment time has reduced over the years from between 4 to 12 hours during the weekends to barely 2 hours nowadays. Additionally, you'll be surprised to note that students in most schools are nowadays not allowed to carry juices, sugar, coffee, cocoa, biscuits, or any other snacks. Students must entirely depend on whatever that the school provides. During our times, there is something we used to call cold power, where students would use cold water to prepare some chocolate. All that is no more. It is for the same emotions that parents are not allowed to bring their children any food during those school clinics, meetings, and AGMs. And when you ask around, you'll be told of a story where a certain parent or an auntie to a student in a certain school somewhere took poisoned food to the child who eventually died. If you try asking the teacher which school it was and when that happened, no one has an idea. The other argument you are about to hear is that if some students are brought some good spicy food from home, the others that are brought nothing or whose parents won't show up will feel bad. Why do we concentrate on such negatives? Why not instead teach the students the virtue of sharing and encourage them to share with other students whatever that they are brought by their parents? If the issue is about poisoning, why don't we do it the police cell or the prison style, where the parents are made to partake some of the food that they have brought at the gate before going in? The number 3 criteria that is used in decision making in our schools is teachers' own experiences. And this is where the famous quote of "during our days" comes in. Oh, during our days we used to have a debate on this day and at this particular time. Oh, during our time we used to do this or never used to do this. Oh, during our days, blah, blah, blah. Okay, during your days, students used to go to school without shoes. Should these ones also stop going to school with shoes? During your days, you also used to use koroboi when reading at night. You also used to walk several kilometers to the river to go bathe there or wash your clothes from there. Should you also go back to those kind of things? And by the way, there is nothing wrong with quoting things of the past. You've heard me in this video quote things of the past, that we used to go to school at 7:30 a.m. The issue is basing your decision purely on your own past experiences. Some of those past experiences are not the best. And just because you went through them, it doesn't mean that everybody else should go through them or that they were right. And finally, gentle ladies and gentlemen, to the second biggest problem affecting our schools, traditionalism. This is obvious and doesn't need too much explanation. It's purely based on this is how things are done. This is how schools are run. This is how students should behave. This is the best way of learning. This is the culture of this school, among others. Try to question some of those things and you're in hot soup. Even simple things such as wearing pipe trousers, boys being forced to shave their heads, morning preps, language policy, all these issues are issues that no one wants to change or no one wants them touched. This is the way they should be. The reasoning here is that things should be done this way because they have always been done that way. There is completely no room for the injection of new blood, new thinking, new ideas. Take for instance the issue of homework. The country with the best education system in the whole world, Finland, does not give its students homework. Kazi ya shule ni ya shule, na ya nyumbani ni ya nyumbani. They shouldn't mix up. Try selling this in a staff meeting somewhere, or to the ones in charge of the curriculum at KICD, so that they reduce the extensive contents in our syllabus, and see how successful you shall be. In conclusion, I want to believe that it is high time that we started obeying science in this country, because you can never go wrong with science. You can disobey everybody else, everyone else, but you cannot disobey science. It is also high time that we accepted new ideas. We injected new thinking, new blood in the system for a transformative society, for us to transform from where we are to other places. Some of these ideas that we have or some other people have are not necessarily the best. But think about them. Give them a thought. Because what happens in this case, even thinking about them is a problem. You may end up realizing, oh, some of these ideas are not as obnoxious as they looked. They're not as bad as they seemed to be. You know, they have helped us reduce the tension that was there between the students and the teachers, between the students and the prefects. And you know, you end up having a very smooth running environment in our schools. Thank you so much. I'm out.